Hi, so I wanted to talk about what I mean by what this no plank business means. So, and you know what? It's not like it's a complete emergency if you've been doing them. I mean I've been doing them for a long time, and until recently I've kind of gone through this training and realized the why behind why it's not recommended for if you have diastasis, and at least until you can rebuild that optimal core strength. So the idea is that hopefully one day you will be able to do them. It's not like you'll never be able to do them. It's just the how we do them, and whether we can get that anticipatory action of the core four happening. So the reason behind no planks, it's the same thing with crunches, right? You're doing this forward flexion pressure. So if I'm in my plank, and I'm just going to do it on my knees to even show you, notice how when I come down into my plank, you can see right here, I start to have it like this doming action, right? This doming action here, because I'm not creating tension between my lineal elbow, right? So my transverse abdominis are here, and so when I come forward in it, is putting that pressure on it, and it's essentially doing this, but the tension should be there if you don't have diastasis, so that it kind of holds it there and it supports the organs, the spine. But what happens is if it doesn't have that tension, or we're not cueing that ourselves to create that tension, then the pressure has to go somewhere, right? And because the diaphragm and the pelvic floor work synergistically, you're getting that pushing down movement, which even further weakens the pelvic floor, which is where some of the things happen with leaking and stuff like that. So the idea is to avoid them until you start to rebuild that core strength in the core four, till you can it just happens. Or you can start by once you and I'll show more on the next few days. There's like an 8-week program that you can do through Belly Zinc, to build that strength through progressing and through the exercises before you get here, is, again, you're thinking about that breath. So breathing in, and then as you pick up your blueberry with your vagina or whatever your cue is, do the Kegel, and then you're breathing out. Notice how that creates a bit more tension there. I'm not getting as much doming action happening. So to support yourself in this kind of movement. Now, what can you do? There's you can do modifications with, like here, right? Doing a push-up off the wall, that type of thing. I guess what the goal is out of plank pose, right? Is it to stabilize the shoulders? If it's just what the purpose is that you're trying to do. I know in a yoga class, for example, I've been doing planks for a long time. Obviously, you have to do them as part of your Namaskar A and B. So that's just all part of what we do in yoga, right? So you're not there for a super long time, but if you have to be there while you're rebuilding it, really think about that breath, engaging that pelvic floor as you're holding there, and then not holding it for long periods of time until you can get that core four working synergistically. Now, one of the other things I took away from this training about being in plank or all fours was that's like a common alternative when you're pregnant, if you're taking a prenatal class. I know as a fitness instructor, that's the alternatives that we use. And the ideas that I took away from that is it's the same thing, right? We kind of want to avoid spending a long time in this position because, babe's here and you're already getting that push forward with the expansion of your belly with your baby here, and which is putting even more pressure through that tension through the lineal elbow, so it's being stretched even further, right? So thinking of being mindful of that when, if you're exercising and you're prenatal, like you're pregnant, to try not to spend too long there in that position, because it's creating even more pressure into the, if you have diastasis, which most likely if you're pregnant, it has to happen, right? So just something to think about. That's the reason behind it. I hate to say like never, you can't, kind of thing, because you know, I don't want you to get the idea that you can't move at all, right? Because you need to move. Movement is good. Just thinking of ways around some of these positions and holding them for a long time there, if you have some of these dysfunctions. Thanks.